greater enforcement is the big issue. So if you look at what multinationals are focusing on, the Siemens case, I think, has attracted a tremendous amount of attention. So for many, many years, the U.S. Foreign Corrupt Practices Act was under-enforced. It certainly was not robustly enforced. And clearly what's happening now with this approximately $1 billion worth of fines for one of the largest, most respected companies in the world, and it had originally been $5 billion anticipated in fines, and by the time they finished paying lawyers and accountants and everybody, it's reputed to have cost them $2.5 billion. So I think that caused people's attention to focus. I think lawyers have always told their international clients about the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act and encouraged them to have training and to have codes of conduct, but I think until there was a really clear, big multinational case where there was enforcement not only in the U.S. but also in Germany, I think people really didn't focus as much as they should. The Siemens case and all the other cases that are happening right now really do cause those companies to focus. The idea of company executives going to jail, company executives paying very high fines in addition to the companies, but it focuses the attention more when the members of the board of directors or the executives themselves have to go through not only the loss of reputation, but also the, the financial cost of going through these enforcements. And now that the European countries are jointly enforcing with the U.S., it's becoming much more probable that there will be an issue. The other thing that happens is when there are mergers and acquisitions, increasingly, lawyers doing routine due diligence will find something. And that, if it's in the target company, that means that the company that was planning to acquire is no longer as interested, and that becomes a concern. I would say so. It is always possible to pinch a penny too hard, and I think usually there's a penalty for doing that. So I would say it's not only the moral and the ethical obligation that some of us have been standing on rooftops shouting for a long time, but it's the very real reputational problem. Look what happened to Siemens stock when the announcement of the bribery investigation occurred. It slumped dramatically. It's picked up because they really decided to do something about this, and they dramatically transformed their compliance program. But it is good business to do the right thing. The Justice Department has had what they call red flags for a very long time. And one of the red flags is this company in one of the businesses that is prone to corruption? And so oil and gas has been prone to corruption. Aircraft transfers have been very prone to corruption. Anything that involves governmental purchases, where there's a concession agreement or some other approval or right. So as the world has become less statist and become more liberal in its economic orientation, privatization has occurred, there are fewer needs for approvals. To some extent, it is less necessary to be corrupt. There's not as much of a motivation to have to make a corrupt payment because the government is less involved in business.